What's up, Joe?
Hey man, just doing the same thing I do all the time, you know. Walking, eating, sleeping, talking, doing, all of it.
Yeah.
But all good, I mean, definitely summer is definitely here, that's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, mangoes are all over the yard.
We got frogs all over the yard.
Ooh, I should send my raccoons and peacocks over there to eat those frogs.
We've got those too.
Yeah.
We got raccoons, peacocks, possum, cats.
Yeah, I haven't seen any possum. I've seen, we've got lots of cats too.
We got one little possum that comes to my backyard to eat the cat's food that's left after the day. Comes late at night. I guess they're nocturnal, aren't they?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't they have a pouch? Aren't they pouchy ones too? Like kangaroos and raccoons have pouches,
marsupial?
Right? Marsupial, yeah.
Marsupial.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, he comes around. I feel bad for him. He looks a little sad all by himself.
Yeah.
Looking through the scraps of the cats.
Hey man, he's probably sitting there going, man, this is easy living. Got this.
We have a fox too.
Oh yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. There was something else I was thinking running around. It is fox, yeah.
Yeah, we have a fox. So I mean, we don't have it. It just runs through the neighborhood, but
yeah,
it's kind of crazy. People are sitting there at home picturing us, like people live in the city are like sitting there picturing us going, like we live in some fucking, wooded village in the middle of nowhere.
It's wooded, but it's not in the middle of nowhere.
No,
it's like,
you live in my favorite place in Miami.
Well, I just feel like, I mean, it's just hysterical because it's a 1-lane road and you kind of start going down this road and you're like, you could be in Costa Rica is the way it feels to me, or, any of the Caribbean or Central American or Colombian places. But you're like less than a mile from, walking distance to downtown Grove.
Yeah.
So you kind of feel, and you're in the shade, which is something that's big. You like that in Miami, obviously. But it's just so weird to me to feel like that you're somewhere else, but you're right in the middle of the city.
Yeah, that's what's so cool about the Grove is it's beautiful. You're right next to the water. You have all these incredible restaurants. You have all this nightlife and activity. Your house, most people's homes, except for the condos in the center of the Grove, are wooded and palm trees and very tropical. And it's all grown in over,
the years.
60 years or whatever. I used to live in a neighborhood over there that was across the street from an artist colony. And it was freaking amazing. So I lived in this beautiful, tropical paradise looking place. And across the street were all these cottages with artists every weekend out playing music and painting and doing sculpture. I mean, it's
over by the tennis courts, that little area of the Grove.
No, it's down by, what the hell was the name of the street I lived on?
Is it by Ransom in that area? Or
it's down off Main, yeah.
There's that little kind of village in there of those like maybe 10, 12 units. Like it was, 50, 80, 100 years ago when people like Fisher Island, let's say.
Yep.
Which is, Ritz, still a Ritz at this point. But,
yeah,
they had like, 10 cabins around it and that the family built there, the Fisher family, which I think was Tires maybe.
I don't know.
Well, that was Firestones. Yeah, they were something. But Carl Fisher, maybe he was just a big developer. But they build these family compounds, and then the city grows up around the compounds.
Yeah.
So what Brad's talking about is this really cool little, bungalow area right across from Ransom, or right in that area by St. Jerome's Church, I think, or St. Hugh's, maybe.
I can't remember the name of the church, but it is right next to a church.
Yeah, and you got all kinds of hippies in there.
Yeah.
And so it was a hippie colony in the 60s, and you have some original Bahamian settlements here. And then, of course, you have Super Lux.
Yeah, it's just a great place to live. I want to get back there. I'm tired of the burbs, but kids are in school.
I'm down in your neck of the woods a lot too, and I was surprised. I was down taking my daughter to one of her friends' places down in Homestead. They have, it's funny because Miami people buy vacation places in the Homestead area. It's like 25 miles away, and so it's out in the, in the bush, the Everglades, basically.
Yeah.
But I was coming back from there on maybe West Cutler Road or something.
Old Cutler Road.
Yeah, but the one when it goes way down and then it curves west toward Homestead, way down there.
Yeah.
But I was surprised, at the neighborhood. I guess it's the old Homestead base housing or something. But it's just you have all kinds of people down there, and it's very authentic. Below where you know how there's that color bay thing that goes out into the water area. Maybe it's Palmetto Bay or something, but it's gated and it goes toward the water like Gables Estates and all those.
Color K. That's where I live.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I drove right by there, and I'm like, of course, I stopped in that gas station down there, wheeling in, and then I realized that it wasn't that good of a neighborhood. When they're selling beers out front in ice buckets and things, and all the locals are standing out there drinking.
We're boring the shit out of people.
But anyhow, look, I mean, markets. I mean, I'm not seeing anything too troubling right now. Are you?
Yeah, we're just hovering around, bouncing around. Actually, I haven't looked at prices in the last 2 hours, so I need to do that. But Bitcoin sitting at 20,323, Ethereum at 1092. Ethereum seems to try to be pushing higher. I've been playing around with this crypto rank because there's some really cool data in here. And I wanted to look at DEX volume. So I've got this DEX exchange, crypto exchanges sorted by 24-hour volume. I didn't realize this. Fucking Spooky Swap is 500 million in 24 hours, only second to Uniswap V3, which I didn't realize Spooky had climbed to number 2 in the DEX category, which was kind of crazy to me.
But what is that difference between like reported volume and adjusted volume?
So they have, I don't think I can switch it here. Let me go. I'll show you what, hold on. Let me do this. Let me go to Spooky. So Spooky reported 24 hours. Oh, look at that. That's odd. 16.96 adjusted, 513 reported. Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate. Let's look back. Why don't they have that as a column? Oh, there's adjusted. Duh. Yeah. So adjusted. Oh, yeah, Spooky's not up there. How the hell?
What is that adjustment?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah, dude, we got to deal with those 480 million in bonuses we paid.
The fuck? So I take it back. Spooky is not number 2. I assume they have a methodology for adjusted versus reported. I wonder if they outline what that is. Anyway, so I take it back. Pancake Swap is number 2, but even like Uniswap is off by 350 million. Pancake Swap, actually, look at that.
Spot on, yeah.
Matches straight up. Uniswap V2 matches straight up. Radium, that's Solana. Trader Joe is exactly matched. Same with Radium. Now, this is weird.
What that is.
They have multiple sushis. Like they show sushi with all of the chains, and then they show individually for Polygon, Arbitrum.
Oh, they break it out too.
It's weird. Yeah.
So what is the Polygon volume on sushi? 3.4 million.
Yeah.
Damn, it's quiet. Yeah. IDEX 2.63. We all know IDEX.
Where's QuickSwap in here?
I love look at the jurisdiction column, man.
What?
Look at the one to the right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's like
not
everybody.
Set, not set.
Yeah, there's U.S. There's Virgin Islands.
IDEX is set in U.S. Who's Virgin Islands? Imdex. Binance Dex is Hong Kong, and Bancor is Switzerland.
Yeah, I'd love to know why that adjusted versus.
I think I gotta believe they put it somewhere they tell why they adjust it.
Yeah, but that's good data.
Oh, and they have a chart showing adjusted versus reported. But they don't show a DEX only.
What's that saying there? Adjusted spot volume, top 100.
Oh, yeah.
Adjusted
approximately
volume
corresponds to the real trade volume in the exchange, taking into account website traffic, market depth, frequency, and size of transactions. Full details are available in our methodology. Where is your methodology? Where would I find the methodology? Anyway, let's not get dragged down.
Yeah.
So interesting though, but I keep coming back to this data in here because I just get lost and absorbed in all the shit that's available on here. It's
your autistic side.
That's it. It's my
Autist
hyper hyper focused side. So anyway, I got a few news items to go through.
Oh, what's going on?
So, well, we talked about this briefly, but Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX are bailing out. They're officially bailing out BlockFi. We talked about the other day, but it looks like they're also going to bail out Voyager. I think it was Alameda. He's doing it through for Voyager, 500 million, and 250 million from FTX to BlockFi. So he's spreading the love around, trying to save some of these. Look, I think at the end of the day, we don't need government bailouts, but I guarantee you that this man is not doing this just out of the goodness of his heart for DeFi. He's also doing this because he's got an angle with these guys. Like, he'll be first in line for acquisition or whatever it is.
Yeah.
This is not all trying to be a good guy.
It's not Mr. Altruist.
Yeah. Look, I think he is an altruist to some extent in a lot of things he does, but I also think that he's not going to put, 500 million of Alameda and 250 million of FTX money if there's not a catch. So.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, even when Buffett bailed everything out in 08, 09, when he was slinging around 10 to $50 billion slugs, if I'm not mistaken, fuck, he took big chunks. I mean, when he bought 10% of Goldman Sachs, I mean, he showed up with all the money to save everybody's ass, but man, he wanted 10 to 20% of all those companies.
Yeah.
I mean, he cleaned house. I mean, after the Singaporeans and the GCC countries came in and bought the first dip,
so
Buffett waited to go again, and he did the rest.
So Nexo is moving into the roll-up business. Speaking of that, they are doing something that you and I have talked about, and they are actively going to begin pursuing acquisitions to consolidate the market, which I think is actually a smart thing. The question kind of becomes, in this decentralized world, what are you acquiring, right?
Yeah.
And ultimately, I think it has to be about acquiring existing volume and community if you're going to acquire something in the decentralized world. If you're just buying centralized crypto businesses, that's a different story, but you can certainly add to your arsenal of offerings and tools when you acquire those centralized crypto businesses. I have a feeling that's where they'll focus. But I definitely think that there's an opportunity here for decentralized consolidation, DeFi consolidation, in acquiring and rolling up projects that are failing or struggling. And that is, I don't know if you do that through governance and votes, and people agree to, hand over the reins of the multi-sig or whatever, or if it's you go in and acquire a shit ton of tokens that are cheap on the market and you get voting control, and then you can do whatever you want with it. But I think we're going to see a lot more of this happening over the coming months.
Well, remember all the consolidation at the end of .com, all the IT services companies that went broke? They formed up all these sort of roll-up entities.
Yep.
I think Omnicom did one and a couple other ones, the advertising guys, and they just shoved it out. Sapient did a lot of roll, as did Razorfish.
Yeah.
But, it blew out all the common stockholders, of course. But then stuff came out of that ashes. More clients, better developers, better, robust marketing teams. And that needs to happen here. Because do you really need like 6 liquidity pairs across 6 different, dexes? Or do you need 1 or 2 maybe?
Right.
To me. And do you need this many? I mean, I remember last summer people were calling for the end of dexes because there's just so many of them. I mean, how many do you really need? So I think consolidation would be great. If you got a bunch of small, 6 million TVL exchanges, slam them all together, slam 10 together.
Yeah, you could. Well, look, and you can bring together, all the parts, right? You can bring all the pieces together into one thing from multiple projects that have strong community, et cetera. Niblet says, let's create a project, maybe like a Tomb Fork, to accumulate wealth and snipe great projects with potential. I love it. That would be
I like that too. We always talk about this kind of stuff. Roll-ups are tough though. They have to be designed right or else they don't work.
Well, having been part of a roll-up, not the guy setting the strategy for the roll-up, but .com, we did I was part of a web hosting company roll-up, an ASP SaaS company roll-up. And we, the potential for that project was tremendous, but I've told the story too many times, but the bottom line is nobody wanted to do the work of the integrations, right?
They laid off all the janitors. And
Yeah,
that's why you're here today, right?
Exactly. That's what they did. That's it. No, look, I mean, after the IPO, everybody had their money. They didn't give a fuck. But we had 17 web hosting companies, which were a perfect, thousands of clients, became the third largest hosting company in the world.
You're a cloud company, dude. It's a cloud company.
Yeah, a cloud company. And it was a perfect target market for software as a service providers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there is some value. If a community has 3, 5, 7,000 people in it that are still holding, and you can check the wallets and you can see what's out there, there's an opportunity to build something. And they're going to be people that have been holding for a long time that are pretty grateful that somebody's actually going to do something with the project instead of just let it die. So I think there's an opportunity to consolidate a lot of community enthusiasm, to get people on board, to create synergies between like-minded projects. Anyway, yeah, interesting. Very interesting.
No, I think it makes sense. I mean, the thing with roll-ups, I think with yours, it was kind of interesting because you were actually, not to oversimplify it, but it's like a hardware infrastructure roll-up. It's hard assets.
Yeah.
Where we were doing it with people, like IT services people. And that's much harder because they don't have any assets.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And everybody leaves.
Yeah.
So you really have to be careful, what you're getting in these. And I think that in this space, I find it pretty interesting. It's got a lot of tech. But like you said, you got all those communities. So like when I look at, we were half joking a couple of weeks ago about Jarvis and material indicators, merging or something like that. And you look at the communities, they got like 10,000, 11,000. You guys got like 7 or 8. I mean, boom, there you go, 20,000 person community. So I think any of these projects, I'm not saying do it. I'm just saying that all these projects are like that. If you combine 3 groups doing similar things, all of a sudden you're usually tripling your community, more users, and more evangelical, what do you call it, proselytizers of your tech and your vision and your dream. So if done right, this is great. This is a perfect time too.
Yep.
I'd like to see Ohm jump into more of this myself.
I would agree. I think a protocol like Ohm could do a lot with that. Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree.
Do you still talk to them? Do you still talk to Zeus?
Yeah. I mean, look, he's been buried. We've exchanged a couple of DMs back and forth because I'm trying to get him back on, but trying to get his attention is difficult right now. So,
I'm sure. Yeah.
So strangely enough, I get these alerts from Hacker News about the top articles that are appearing and being reshared on Hacker News. Mm-hmm. And, when we talk kind of the macroeconomic stuff, I ended up on this website called gcaptain.com, which is this big shipping maritime website about shipping, right? And this was one of the top articles on Hacker News in the last couple of days. And the article is called "It's the End of the World is Just the Beginning," is the name of a book. And it was this guy writing a book about it writing an article about it in the context of shipping, but evidently a large amount of the book is related to shipping and maritime. And it talks about the fact that, the author believes that there is, this guy Zihan actually believes that deglobalization is what's going to drive everything downward, and that the United States Navy failing to protect shipping anymore and no longer being kind of the cops of the shipping lanes of the world, including for China and Russia and everybody else, has made everybody pull back and start protecting themselves, and has left open one of the most important factors of the economy, shipping, to the dangers of just kind of the open waters. Anyway, fascinating article. I'm going to put a link in because I think a lot of people that listen to the show would enjoy kind of reading this. I actually went ahead and bought the audio version of his book. I'm going to listen to it on vacation, but fascinating theory. Like, he goes through kind of like the changing world order theories are climate change, the rise of China, and deglobalization. And this article summarizes a lot of his positions, makes a lot of strong points about deglobalization being a big cause of the changing world order. And you can see it, right? You can see it in the politics. You can see everyone becoming nationalized, and Trump was nationalist. It's happening in countries around the world. So fascinating article. I'll post it in the show notes because I think it's interesting to read about it. Niblet says, The box about the shipping container and how it made globalization at scale possible. Yeah, I think you've mentioned that to me before, Niblets. I can't remember, but I think you have. Yeah, I think you've mentioned to me that I should read it, and I don't think I have yet. I probably have it sitting in my audiobook library.
Yeah, I love the last paragraph after the whole spiel. The world needs
Needed bigger ships.
Yeah.
That provided economies of scale and needed to cut costs in other ways, including slow steaming, which significantly reduces fuel costs and carbon emissions, but lengthens the amount of time ships spend in hostile waters. U.S. naval protection eliminated hostilities, which enabled companies to slow steam an increasingly large amount of valuable cargo through historically dangerous waters. With naval protection, insurance companies could underwrite the risk at rock bottom prices. Then they're saying that insurance companies are no longer underwriting the risk because the U.S. isn't there patrolling the dangerous waters, and that the U.S. Navy fleet is falling apart and is a total mess.
Yeah, I think those last two things are big exaggerations by this person, but I do get the point. When you deglobalize, you just lose those efficiencies. I mean, but we see what happens. It's all just in time inventory, and you see the supply chain issues that we've been dealing with for the last however long year. Trying to restart it to that level of efficiency and get it going. And it's just, it takes years to get everything like that. So that's a pretty interesting point.
Yeah. So it says that China was the one nation that benefited the most from secure maritime trade and the freedom of navigation of all merchant ships at American taxpayer expense. It also says that 95% of private insurance for shipping is written in the United States. And it says that in the past that, Americans didn't really realize how much we did actually protect shipping lanes, and we were the primary source of protection in shipping lanes, and that's changed pretty dramatically since Clinton, who wasn't interested in maritime. Anyway, fascinating stuff. I'll let everybody digest it themselves to read it and have their thoughts on it. The book is called The End of the World is Just the Beginning, but it is heavily related to that topic. I thought it was fascinating. I enjoyed reading the article. So. I'm going for douchebag of the week. We're back to Michael Saylor.
My buddy.
So
Mr. Douche. I saw him in a restaurant once. So I was sitting there with I think it must have been one of my ex-wives. And he was at a table like right below. And he's just so like just sitting there waiting for everybody to come talk to him.
Yeah.
And he was like looking at me and I just ignored him. It's like with those guys, because I knew all the stories. From everybody else that works with them day to day. And it's just those kind of people I don't have a lot of patience for. I usually end up telling them off somewhere.
Yeah.
Pretty early in the relationship. And that's what ends the relationship.
I'm looking forward to all the libertarian Bitcoin maxis calling him out for being a dick for asking for regulation of the crypto space. They won't.
Oh.
They won't because they're hypocrites. But and Sean, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about, full-blown hardcore libertarians who oppose any government intervention. I'm really looking forward to them calling out the douchebag of the week, Michael Saylor. Unless you have somebody better for that role this week.
Me? No.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I don't think it's early. It's early in the week, right? Thursday?
No, it's Thursday, dude.
Okay. Yeah, I got douchebag of the week. I'm looking at him. No, Michael Saylor, not you, Brad. Come on.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I wouldn't be teasing you.
Yeah.
I never tease anybody. Come on, everybody knows that.
Sean said it's just Twitter, dude. It's true. It's true. The libertarian maxis are on Twitter hardcore, but this guy's a dick. I'm just so over him.
I told you some of the stories, and I hope I'm not breaching any confidences here, but there was, let's say, an investment house that, he would have these parties down in St. Bart's. And so that all the bankers would go down and they'd be on a yacht. I don't think he owned the yacht. I think it was a rental.
Alexa, drop in on Zach.
What?
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No, that's cool. And, they were joking to us. There's like, they're all like drawing straws to see who's going to throw them off the boat, after 2 days, because you couldn't bear the conversation anymore. So he's friggin' got an ego that's just out of this world, obviously. Where he used to, in particular, when he was younger, as most do. But, I'm not a big fan of people that are like, I feel like are hustlers, but at the same time, he has bought a lot of BTC.
Yeah.
And he was key in there when he and Musk tag team on this stuff. Stuff moves, excitement happens. But when you
Absolutely.
lose credibility and you're one of the big, proponents of something or promoting it, and people start really getting that it's maybe not as unbiased as you sort of like to say. I mean, when people say crypto a million, there's two types. There's people that want to make money, and there's two types. There's people that want adoption.
Yep.
And so, like, I would say a lot of people don't. Some of the people don't care about the money.
Right.
They just care about that it succeeds.
Yep.
Others are much more monetarily incentivized. I mean, I'm monetarily incentivized. I think that Saylor is more monetarily incentivized than philosophically.
Yeah, I think he's full of shit.
Yeah.
He's full of shit. He's just full of shit. He saw a way to save his company that wasn't doing shit and galvanize the community of Bitcoiners around him and get people engaged. And he saw the bull market, and
But also, everybody that's equities and doesn't know anything about crypto or Bitcoin could buy MicroStrategy stock and basically get Bitcoin
try to ride it.
And he got Blackstone convinced that it was the way to go.
Yep.
And so they went off and did it. And now we'll see how it turns out. I think he's going to be okay myself. I mean, even if it hits the 13 or 12, I still think it's coming back hard after that.
Yeah. So me too.
Just, shore up your cash, be ready.
Galaxy Digital is, I don't know if it's a subsidiary or they just invested in them, but there's a new solar powered Bitcoin miner operation launching in Colorado. And they're going to be hosting Galaxy Digital miners in their data center. But I just love seeing that, because that's kind of the point we always make, is that, yes, Bitcoin uses a lot of energy, but there are a lot of people, the incentives are save money, right? So the incentives are to have new ways and renewable ways to mine Bitcoin, because the less it costs you in electricity, the more friggin' money you make, right?
Yeah.
And so I love seeing this shit. It's 75,000 square foot center will run S19 Bitcoin mining machines. I'm really happy to see it. And I didn't realize it, but it's ACDC, Aspen Creek Digital Corporation. That's even better.
Yeah, no, I remember looking at a deal a couple of years ago out in Colorado for mining. And there's actually people that are back then, and I'm sure they're still doing it, but they're putting the mines in old mines. So underground.
Yeah.
But then they were using geothermal or something to power it, or solar or wind. And basically, when you have this stuff underground, you don't have to get all the air conditioning technology to keep it cool.
Right.
It stays cooler on its own. So there's a lot going on out there in Colorado.
Yeah.
And I like seeing this. I like the miners being in the U.S. myself.
Me too. And look, I like the miners driving use of renewable energy because of the incentives, which is the argument I make to people all the time that bring up fucking climate and Bitcoin mining. It's like, if there's a profit motivation, you're going to get to renewables, and you're going to get to less power, grid power usage, and less fossil fuel usage, because these people have an incentive to save money. It's like, it makes sense. I'm big on aligning incentives.
Well, yeah, market dynamics. I mean, why not? Everybody shows up when you can make money.
So after Polygon announced the carbon neutrality push yesterday, they were up 20%. Where are they?
I think they're at 54. I think I saw that earlier.
48.56 just a minute ago. Hold on, let me see. 48.62 in 24 hours, up about 16%. And evidently there's a whale accumulation going on with Matic right now. So up around 22% on the day, 25% on the week, down from its price at the start of the month. However, it traded at 0.6 when it traded at 0.66. Dropped substantially from the highs of $2.92.
Didn't that hit like 20 cents at one point? A couple
weeks
ago?
Yeah.
Did it get there?
32.4.
Okay.
Well, that's 7 days. Hold on.
No, that might be the bottom right there.
32.4 looks like the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah.
But still, yeah. I mean, look, when we first started looking at Matic, it was 3 cents, if I remember right. That's been very good to me.
Holders with 10,000 to 10 million Matic have collectively added 8.7% more to their holdings over the past 6 weeks.
Yeah, that seems like a opportunity to, something's going to happen there.
Yep. Totally agree. Totally agree. So good news for Matic fans. It's great to see. The NHL is joining the NFL and setting up an NFT marketplace for hockey collectibles. So they've tapped Sweet, which I guess is an NFT platform, to build it for them. But again, anything we see adoption in, I'm happy to see. So go NHL.
Gamified NFTs. Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, remember
October it's going live.
what was that one that was around big? Chili's, whatever, they were doing all the European Cup, the football squads in Europe, NFTs. That thing blew up for a while.
Yeah.
Anybody doing sports and NFTs is going to be okay, because if you think about it, think about all the content you can put around these player cards, basically.
Well, listen to this. So
a-
they're making it so it's gamified. So there'll be questing and collecting features, right? So fans have to go find it. But then this is cool, and they'll be rewarded with other perks. But this is cool. Some of the NFTs will also be dynamic and change over time depending on a player's performance. NFTs also will be cinematic game highlights from past and present NFL seasons. So it sounds like they're doing it right. Like they're going to build this out as really utilizing the full power of what's possible with NFTs.
Well, and even with that first thing, the player's performance, that probably going to feed into the different fantasy games.
Sure, that makes sense. Yeah, make them rewards in game, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, there's
a list very cool.
Top Shot, NFL with playing on NFT game, and MLB with upcoming NFT games. So they're all doing NFT games.
They're all going to gamify them. Definitely.
Makes total sense.
Yeah. So this is a little bit disturbing. Coinbase, based on new regulations in the Netherlands, is going to start requiring you, if you're in the Netherlands, obviously, hopefully this is not a series of steps that are going to occur. But again, it's back to what centralized, exchanges, the issues are. They're going to start requiring KYC information for the person you're sending it to. So if you're sending off wallet, right now, the easy circumvention of that is send it off the exchange to your own wallet and then send it to whomever you're sending to, and you don't have to disclose it. But how many people using Coinbase are going to be that knowledgeable enough to think through doing that, or even have, a MetaMask wallet set up or something else, right? So, this is kind of the stuff that we were talking about last year. This idea that somehow regulators thought they could regulate non-custodial wallets, right? And require proof of who you've sent it to, when half the time you're sending it to a fucking smart contract. But this is the first step in that I guess the Netherlands are requiring it now. So anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who the hell would send anything out of Coinbase? I mean, look, I only off ramp basically.
Yeah.
And through there, that's it.
Well,
I don't ever buy anything. I mean, I sell stuff there, of course.
Sure.
When I'm off ramping, but if you're in that Coinbase wallet and now they're starting to want to know who you send shit to, I mean, that's pretty onerous.
Well, and also yesterday, Coinbase announced they're shutting down Coinbase Pro. Yeah, and they're moving the functionality into the regular Coinbase platform. But people were freaking out because, look, Coinbase Pro is already 4x what you pay on other exchanges, like Binance US. And the regular Coinbase is the biggest grift in the crypto world of newbies, right? Coinbase was the place everybody came on, but they not only charge fees, they also charge money on the spread between the real price and what they want you to pay for it, right? So they're basically fucking everybody coming in and everybody getting out and everybody using it as an on-ramp. And they know that's all they are, is an on-ramp anymore. So William Legate, who's actually pretty famous, he's saying he's never going to use Coinbase Pro again if the discounted rates aren't included in the new unified trading interface. Not going to get ripped off paying retail trading fees. I said, dude, you're already getting ripped off on Coinbase Pro. Move over to Binance US and stop getting screwed, because it's like 0.1. Binance US is slightly higher than Binance.com, but it's 0.1 per transaction, 0.1% per transaction, whereas Coinbase starts at 0.6% and drops to like 0.4. I think the lowest you can get is 0.15 fee, and that's at like 10 million plus transaction, 10 million USD transaction and greater. So anybody that's actually trading on fucking Coinbase Pro is already getting screwed.
It's insane.
I can't imagine anybody is, but evidently there are a few folks. Let's see what else I got.
Yeah, I love those Binance trading fees. Man.
Maple Finance, which is a lender that everyone has been pretty excited about and has loved the platform. There's a lot of big names in the space that love the platform. Evidently, they are also impacted by Celsius and Three Arrows. Then warns lenders about insufficient cash in pools. And MITS also, orthogonal trading is Babylon. So anyway, looks like Maple may be in trouble as well. So it is what it is. 1.5 billion in loans since it has started. I don't know if they disclose the exact amounts they're at risk for. Yeah, there's no specific announcements. So we'll see if Sam comes over to bail out Maple as well.
Yeah, now this is what's important for Sam is you don't bail out everything at this point. You bail out one or two and hold back because we don't want you going down too at this point.
Back to fees. Sean said maybe trade on MEX and BitMEX and get paid 0.01% maker fee and a 0.5 buck spread. Would love to, buddy, but we're not allowed to trade it there. Thank you very much for rubbing that in, Sean.
Yeah, the EU boys can do that.
We would love to get paid to trade. No doubt about it.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Sign me up, man.
But we're not allowed to go to BitMEX. And they are pretty tight about their controls over that these days. Did I have anything else, Joe? Or am I done for the day? Hey, everybody, want to let you know I am going on vacation on Monday, and it's going to be a couple of weeks before we're back live. I will have new episodes of Mission DeFi that I'll be broadcasting live at the lunch show. But if Joe wants to do it by himself, he's welcome to. I don't know if he does.
I don't really have a lot to say by myself. I'm more like to feed off of the dialogue.
See,
I tried to do one when you were out last time, and I just had so much shit going on. I started like 10 minutes in, and I was like, "Fuck this! I'm not doing it."
I watched it. Don't worry.
You did watch it? Yeah, I was just like,
of course, I watched it.
It wasn't any fun, man. I wasn't prepared or anything. So
I was gonna bust your chops about it, but I decided not to because I could see you were stressed at the time.
It was a rough day already rolling in, and I was like, and then I'm like, "What the fuck am I going to talk about?" I don't have any articles to feed up. And so then it's easy when you have somebody else to like laugh and, trade barbs with and shit like that. But if you don't, you got to really do it like you do the Mission DeFi show, which is a orchestrated.
Niblin says you just had a vacay. When did I have a vacay, man? When did I have a vacay recently? No, Christmas.
Maybe that's what he means.
Maybe that's what he means. Yeah.
No, wait. Didn't you
I haven't been anywhere else.
Georgia recently? Was that Easter-ish time for spring break, or what was that? Weren't you up at your parents' house in Georgia or something? No?
He said when you soloed. No, I wasn't on vacation when Joe soloed, dude. I was working. I don't remember what the hell I was doing, but I was working.
You were at the crypto.
I was at Permissionless. That's not a vacation.
Yeah. Yeah, you were hanging out.
That is not a vacation, dude. That's twice the work I do at home.
You were at the
because I'm doing that work and this one. Yeah.
Brad doesn't roll in with a roll of singles. He rolls in with a roll of 20s.
Here's a little more. Here's a little more on the Nexo acquisition stuff. They've appointed Citibank to advise on acquisitions. So I'm pretty sure these are not going to be DeFi acquisitions. These are going to be centralized crypto companies, which, part of them. I think it's smart. There's going to be a lot of people.
So Citibank says, yeah, sure, we'll advise you. And then they watch what they're doing completely. And if they pull it off and they do a good job, then Citibank says, I think we're going to roll you up at that point. So it's kind of like what Saylor did with MicroStrategy and buying BTC. You get one of these big guys to back you that doesn't want the risk exposure or the failure exposure. And if you pull it off, great. Then you're awesome. If you don't, well, who cares?
Eamon says, it was super fun. Haha.
That's right.
Yeah,
guys were partying
I
up
had
there.
a blast at Permissionless and made a lot of great connections and learned a lot. But he did have the benefit of a week in the Keys before. So
Yeah.
yeah. Joe, that's all I've got. You know what? There was this one long thread. I don't want to get into it today, but maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. We have guest tomorrow. The
Sure.
team, the Anchor liquid staking team is coming
Ooh.
on to chat about liquid staking and all that's involved in that. I've been putting a little more here and there in, shaving off some of my earnings on some of the pools I'm in, putting them in for more Phantom and a little Avalanche for staking. I'm going to start setting up some Matic staking with them. I wish there was a little more use of their derivative tokens out there in the DeFi world, because I'd like to go like leverage those into some more gains on other protocols. There's not, which might be an opportunity for somebody, right, is to figure out a way to leverage those into some other earnings. But their interface is dead friggin' simple. So anyway, they're going to come on tomorrow, talk about whatever's going on in the liquid staking world.
So are they, have you looked, speaking of that, have you looked at the ST-ETH ratio at all lately?
I have not. We could do that real quick. Anyway, there was this article, this thread by Joe Weisenthal basically saying, DeFi is used for nothing. And a lot of people discussing back at him and saying, well, that's regulatory. We can't use it for anything yet, right? It's all financial. What's his point? Let's see.
USDD's at 97.44.
So look, 78 to 21. ST-ETH 78% of the pool, ETH 21% of the pool. So still lopsided.
Yeah, I mean, I have noticed Celsius recovering, price wise. I saw it like $1.50 yesterday, I think, and didn't that get down to like 10 cents or something? So, anybody who came in then is just cleaned up, which is kind of, I was surprised to see that, to be honest. And I'm also surprised to see USDD holding up. I wonder if, that's.
I thought it was still off peg.
Well, 97.44. Yeah, it is off peg, but it's still, it hasn't like gone much below that. So, it's not like collapsed, I guess is what I'm getting at.
So you said the Celsius was bouncing back a little?
Yeah, I saw it in
token,
one of my chats.
the token, or is it a stock too? I don't know.
I don't think it's a stock. Let me look it up here.
Here it is on FTX. Let's look at FTX. It's down.
So I'm really talking about, it's giving it back now. It looks like
0.885.
Yeah, I was looking at that slope right there to the left, the purplish going up.
Yep.
And this is
0.27. It dropped to.
Yeah. So I don't know now what the point is, but there was a nice little pop there. It would have been something that would have probably fired your,
I'm checking
material
now.
indicator.
Looking at it right now. Let's load up some other levels. Yeah, we would have had that's a 2.5. Oh no, there's also a 3 there. So you would have had $6.38 gain on that.
6.38% or 6.38x?
6.38%.
Yeah. No. So and how much?
6.38%, and that's like in 2 hours and 43 minutes.
Perfect.
Yeah, that was earlier today.
Have you seen any people
same.
from the show over there messing around with material indicators? Do people go there from the show? Because this tool is a great tool. That's all I'm.
I don't. It's something I can't really track. I haven't noticed anybody coming in and saying they came from the show, but who knows? Maybe.
So I think people should go look at this. That's the thing, and start playing with it. Is there like a demo free thing there that people can mess with?
Not really. We give a 7-day money back guarantee.
Okay,
if
that's
you don't
good
like
enough.
it. So
that's good enough.
Actually, I wish the fuck I've been trading Celsius for the last. I mean, there's enough margin on these take profits that even with slow DEX trades, it's good. But on FTX that's pretty interesting.
So anytime anything gets in a lot of trouble, that's when these indicators are going to fire because it's dropping.
Yeah, because it's a mean reversion.
Right. So then I think, particularly in these volatile times right now, that, running a tool on, say, anytime anybody gets in trouble, might be useful. Because again, when you buy this, you're not then hodling it and watching it go into the shitter. You're selling it.
Yeah.
You know, an hour, 2, 3, whatever in,
now,
5 seconds in, whatever.
Colossal failures are more difficult, right? Like you know, I mean, you're going to bleed out on those, but you know, ones that have a chance to stay alive, you got a good place here. I'm really
you look at the volatility in like Matic and Phantom and groups
thing.
like that. I mean, those are ones that are going to be around, and you could trade on those.
Damn, Joe, why'd you have to bring this up? Now
sorry, man.
Now I'm kicking myself.
All your potential vacation money.
Shit, yeah.
Well, I'll just throw up the losses that you've done, and then
damn.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal looking, isn't it? I mean, in a fun way.
No, there's shit. Look at this one. I mean, these are all 2.5 deviation signals right now, and 3, which are minimal. 55% in 6 hours and 5 minutes.
Yeah. Maybe we should start running some of this on the show sometime for people, you know, and show it going and things. I think everybody would love to see this because you can pick your favorite one. Well, it has to have a pair on Binance US these days, right?
No. I mean, you could now. It's anything that's on TradingView. Anything to automate it. You want to have an API into a exchange, but to use this, if you wanted to set audible alerts, or you can set up your own webhooks, you could use this with any of the exchanges, the DEXs, Sushi, Trader Joe, whatever, Uniswap that are available on TradingView, right? So it doesn't have to
manually do the exits. And then manually,
you can manually or you can programmatically connect it, right? Like even this one that was high up on the range. Let's see if this one recovered. So this is some of the risk you have, right? So you got a signal, and even this one, after a further dump, like substantial dump, you were at 4.5% after 2 hours and 38 minutes. But you could also set this up to just take the most extreme signals, right? And say you put it at a 9 deviation, and you want to be safer, so you can do that as well. So. But I'm really, really kicking myself not trading this chart with MTF over the last. Let's see if this one recovered. There's risk in this, people, but 1.98% in 31 minutes. And that's actually how I typically trade with this. I keep it really conservative, but even then there was some recovery there. But see that one, if you were waiting for bigger profits on that particular signal, you're not there. Right, you're down. So, but I also DCA these. So I'd get the signal here, and then I'd take it again on this one, and probably down here on this one. So then once it peaks up to here, I'm in nice profit. So anyway, yeah, thanks for the shill there, Joe. Appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. Just cut me in.
Hey TC, hey, how's it going?
Hey, buddy.
All right, dude, I'm out.
Yep. I'm done.
Everybody, thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. We'll be back tomorrow with the guest from Anchor Liquid Staking.
Quick question on Anchor. Are those guys doxxed?
I think so. I think they're employees, team members. Yeah.
Yeah. Just shoot me some names later on today so we can check them out. Just what questions to ask. Okay.
I'll do that. Appreciate everybody listening and watching. Please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. It really helps. Also subscribe on YouTube and click the little bell so you get alerts when we put out new episodes. Would love to have your comments and thoughts there on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Twitch, wherever you like, Twitter. You can DM me B05 Crypto on Twitter or Telegram, B05 Crypto #2143 on Discord. We love y'all. We appreciate you. And if you have any thoughts or ideas or feedback, don't hesitate to reach out. Joe, have a lovely afternoon.
You too, buddy. And look, if anybody wants to use this tool, just message Brad direct. I'll get you all set up.
Yep.
Thanks everyone.
See
all
ya.
right, buddy. Talk to you later. See everybody tomorrow. Bye.